to everybody, experience or not.
Come on, come on.
Been fortunate to snooker Mick Delahunty on the red here. And the way the yellows are positioned, he needs a little bit of fortune to be getting out of this snooker and to hopefully gain an advantage.
And over to the green table, Scottish captain Ross McInnes versus Phil Hulley. Two very good players here.
Yeah, contrasting sort of players, Jim. Sorry there, just butting in on you. Very contrasting sort of players. Ross McInnes, they call him the Flying Scotsman for obvious reasons. He runs around the table, whereas Phil Hulley takes his time, weighs up the situation. So interesting to watch whose style comes out on top in this battle here. Looking like the Scotsman's flying pretty well at the moment. The great thing about Ross McInnes' game is he's got a very quick brain, and when he looks at the situation, he weighs it up very quickly. Some of us mere mortals have to take a little bit longer to work the shots out.
Good, Ross.
Ross's team just geeing him on there. Little run through on the yellow here. Run through a fraction too far, but I think we'll see him safely negotiate this yellow into the corner pocket.
Well, again, Greg just a little further than he would have liked. This is a fine snick on this black.
Yeah, I think he's got to take the paint off this one, Jim. And he has done. Where's the cue ball, though? The cue ball's flew into the corner pocket, and it's game away.
Well, for the first time in this match, we've seen the luck turn the way of the Aussies.
Yes, Jim, I feel that in any match, there's always some stage where you can look back and say, well, that was the possible turning point in a match. I would think the Aussies are going to be hoping that that could be their turning point.
Well, you had 10-5 flashed on your screen. That now is Scotland's lead. But it's still up to Terry McCardle on the blue table. He can re-establish that 6-frame lead. He can re-establish that 6-frame lead. Should he pull out a victory here?
Doesn't look as though the yellow ball passes the red into the corner pocket, Jim. So Terry playing a little safety shot. And I think it's going to cause Mick Delahunty some problems now. Got 2 or 3 options here. Having a look at playing his opponent's yellow ball.
Foul.
2 visits. Tried to play a safety shot which keeps the white ball, not allowing his opponent to pot. Tried to play a safety shot which keeps the white ball, not allowing his opponent to pot on his first visit, but I think he's left him a fairly straight shot into the centre pocket. If he has, then it leaves Terry 2 on the 1 remaining yellow. The red ball still causing some problems for Terry, though. He's played it very well. Again, though, the red ball could still be causing a little bit of a problem.
Get on it, Jim.
played it very well. Lining up the black ball for the centre pocket.
Red ball's in play.
And in it goes. Scotland 11, Australia 5. And that was a big win. More top-class pool after the break. Continue with the score at 6-11. Let's go now to the other table. And just breaking off on the green table, that's Jack Halligan from Australia, seasoned campaigner and the team captain. And he's up against the inexperience and impetuosity of youth in Derek Murphy.
Yes, Jack, one of the characters of the Australian team. I've spent some time with him last year and again this year. Well respected throughout the team. And there you see the difference between the two players on the table at the moment. Jack pretty methodical when he's on the table, and young Murphy here smashing the ball in with gay abandon.
Seconds, green table.
Excellent pot there from the young Scottish lad. Junior, I think they call him, do they, Jim?
Well, that's what I was told. I hope he doesn't mind me calling him that.
I'm sure if he could manage to beat the Australian captain this frame, Jim, I don't think he'd mind being called anything at the moment. Difficult shots these down the rails, as you can see there. Jack having some problems with the two red balls at the top left of the table. So he's going to have to try and conjure up something to be able to gain an advantage before young Murphy can start looking at potting out. What's he got up his sleeve? Yeah, clever shot from Jack there. As you can see, the black ball reasonably tied up in the bottom left-hand pocket, but it would have gone into the right-hand corner pocket. So, as I say, Jack cleverly covering that. And there you see young Murphy having to look at a different way of trying to get onto the black or move it.
For about 10 minutes trying to find out Derek Murphy's age, and just been told that he's 17 years old. So I was right, he should still be in school.
Maybe he's taken a couple of days off, Jim.
He's done very well for the Scottish team, though. He's won both his previous frames. In stark contrast to the Australian captain, who's dropped both of his.
Yes, and he's looking good in this frame now, Jim, because he's just played a clever little shot, potting the yellow ball into the centre pocket and opening up the other yellow to go into the pocket nearest the black. He may be leaving that to try and move the black ball in potting the yellow into the corner pocket.
Well, shall we see what's happening over on the blue table, where Australia's John Barton looks as though he's in with half a chance.
And as the Australians would say, Jim, that's a top hit. Not only has he potted a difficult shot with the rest, he's managed to get on his probably most difficult red ball on the table now. If he can manage to play this plant, and he's looking good for the finish.
Come on, Jeff.
Is this the big comeback we've all been looking to see if they can produce? JB probably screwing between those two yellows here. You see, played it very, very well. All important in the game of pool to try and leave yourself as easy a shot as possible on your next shot. Obviously, the harder the shot, the more chance of missing.
Every one of the Australian team looking on. They didn't come all this way to give in. They'll fight till their last frame and last ball.
Yes, I'm sure they will, Jim. And although JB's just run a little high on this black ball, he's still got an excellent chance of getting it and pegging another frame back. Just having to bridge over the yellow ball there, which makes it a little bit more difficult. But he's played that well with his two visits. Just savour the moment a little bit here now, JB, before he strokes the black in.
11-7. The Australians still in with a fight. They're certainly starting to gain a little bit of confidence and momentum. And that doesn't bode well for Scotland.
Yes, 11-7, Jim, and well, 4 frames deficit now. It was 7 at one stage, so they're pegging it back slowly but surely, but are they going to run out of frames?
Second visit.
Back here with Jack Halligan, the Australian captain. Got 2 problems here. The red ball on the cushion, the right-hand cushion, is in a difficult position to be potable, but also if you look at the top left-hand side of the table, the blue get on a potting shot at it. Interesting to see. There's 2 or 3 ways Jack can go here. Interesting to see what he's got in his mind about the black ball. As with all good top players, you'll find that they don't just pot 1 or 2 balls in front. I mean, Jack will have been looking at the black ball, trying to work some way of getting onto it at least 3 or 4 or 5 shots ago. And he's played a great plant down the rail there, Jim. Unfortunately, I think he's left himself a little bit straight, so probably going to have a go at a double on the black. As we say in the game, a Barney Rubble. Moving the yellow ball off the pocket there, leaving himself an excellent chance of a double. Probably going to play weight to reach the pocket because there's a yellow over there. If he can cover the yellow, he's in with a chance.
And I wonder if they can feel something slipping away. As you said earlier, Greg, they had a 7-frame advantage that's been cut to 4. They certainly don't want to see that go to 3.
Jack was the one who had the problem with the black ball. And now, with 1 shot, as can happen a lot in this game of pool, with Jack just playing 1 shot, it's reversed the table. And young Murphy's now got the problem of having 1 bad ball. Leaving Jack snookered here, hoping that Jack is going to come off a cushion and move the black ball out of the way of his 1 difficult yellow, thus leaving him a good chance of a finish. Taking his time, Jack, surveying the situation. In a difficult position. Chancing his arm a little bit there, Jim.
Well, I suppose he didn't really have any choice. It was a good shot the young Scot played.
Yeah, using the knuckle of the centre pocket to gain the snooker. If he's feeling confident, he'll take this long yellow on into the corner pocket, Jim. And there we see again a little bit of the jitters coming in. Understandably, the young 17-year-old. And let's see if the experience of Jack Halligan can pull a difficult black out.
You can see by his reaction just how he feels about that pot. The Australians very eager now. To get things underway. This is a tremendous fight back.
Yes, they're all fired up now, Jim.
And now it's up to Australia to build on that good black knocked in by their team captain, Greg. And one has to say, Scotland might well be feeling something slipping.
Australia to break.
Yes, Jim. From a 7-frame lead, it's now whittled down to only 3 frames. And they still need another 3 frames to clinch this match. But as what happens when a team starts fighting back, their tail goes up, and strangely enough, the team who are in front, their tail tends to drop down a little bit. So it's going to be interesting to see how the Scots are now going to handle, although they're three frames in front, handle the fight back from the Australians.
Well, it's Terry McCardle there over on the green table. He's got an open table, so he's nominating the yellows.
I think earlier on, these yellows would have been a formality for any of the Scottish team. But with the Australians starting to mount the incredible fight back, puts a lot of added pressure onto Terry McCardle to take out these yellows. Yes, just over screwing there with a little bit of tension in the arm. Played on the yellow ball into the centre pocket, I think. And now going to have to change his strategy and get back on that yellow at some later stage. Could possibly be a little bit straight on this yellow at the top of the table. If so, he's going to have to do some work with the cue ball to gain position on one of his 3 remaining yellows.
Well, a team will always look to its most seasoned campaigners looking for that boost. This could be the chance for Terry McCardle to do that very thing.
He's played a good long yellow there, Jim. Excellent position on the yellow into the centre pocket. I'm not sure if the yellow by the black will just squeeze past the red into the centre pocket. If so, then he hasn't got to do a lot to gain position on the last yellow. If he doesn't, he's got some work to do. Yes, and as you can see the way he's played that ball, he's going to be trying to cut this yellow back into the centre pocket. The tension's mounting. Just dropping in there off the lip of the middle pocket.
Well, there you can see the black passes. This is far from easy.
Yes, Daddy! And again, just dropping in off the knuckle of the centre pocket. I think Terry McCardle might go up and kiss that jaw later on.
It's been a terrific performance from him. He's played 3 frames, and he's contributed all 3 to wins for the Scottish side. Back to 12-8 for Scotland. We're leaving you for a short while now, but come back to see what could be a nail-biting finish to an exciting match. The Embassy Pool Championship is electric. Scotland need only 2 frames to win, with Australia determined to continue their fight back. Let's get on with the action.
Here we have the captain of Scotland, Ross McInnes. What can he do against the steely Kelvin Lee?
Come on. Come on, let's go.
Back to the blue table, and I think an excellent chance here for Alex Evrianadis to take another one back for the Aussies. Left the cue ball a little bit close to the cushion for comfort, so having to pull out a good pot here. There you can see the shot, pretty straight. He needs to be careful about position on the other red, though. Oh, and the yellow ball just nudging itself over the pocket, and now in a very, very bad situation for Australia. Doesn't look any way in which he can pot the red ball, so he's going to be looking at trying to
30 seconds.
Leave it in such a position that he doesn't leave a finish on for the Scotsman. Just trying to nudge a little gap there on the pocket, Jim. I'm not sure if he has done. I think we'll see Jeff Mathieson playing a little snooker here. Things looking ominous for the Australians now.
Come on the ice.
There you can see the referee just checking to see if it's a total snooker. And the cue ball raised in the air, having to swerve around the yellow. Played it very well.
I suppose if nothing else, Alex has bought himself a little time. He's still not really in an enviable position.
Come on, Cal. Come on, Mike. Come on.
No, Jim, and Jeff there could have possibly took a little bit more time to think about that shot, because I think if he'd have developed the yellow he's just kissed into on the cushion, it would have put Alex under a lot more pressure. Being a total snooker, he doesn't have to make contact with the cushion after contacting the ball. Trying to lay right on the red. And he's played it reasonably well.
Well, shall we see how the Scottish captain, Ross McInnes, is doing over on the green table? And I believe he's in a spot of bother. So the feeling he's on the reds. And certainly if he was shooting the yellows, Greg, he wouldn't be shaking his head.
Yeah, I think
back to the blue table. And that's a good one again for the Australians, pulling another one back. Alex Efrianidis. 12-9 Scotland.
Come on, let's go.
the camp really starting to buzz now. Kelvin Lee in a little spot of bother with 2 reds covering most of his yellow balls. So deciding to try and cover the pocket to buy a little bit of time to develop the rest of his yellow balls. I can say for sure that if he leaves Ross McInnes so much as a sniff of these red balls, from past experience, sometimes to my own cost, they'll be gone.
Still looks as though Kelvin's got a lot of work to do.
Yeah, he's not been fortunate with the kisses there, and so as you can see, the yellow balls are potable. It's just a matter of getting good enough position on them.
30 seconds, green table.
Having the starter into the centre pocket, looking to screw back over onto the side rail.
Shot, Cal, come on, mate.
Now, I feel this is the crunch shot, Jim. If he plays this well, gets good position, he's in the driving seat.
Come on, mate.
He's played it well, Jim. He's played it very well.
Big chance this for Australia. They once trailed 9-2 and 11-4 in this match. Ross McInnes very concerned.
Yes, the frowns on the forehead starting to get bigger and bigger. Kelvin playing a safety shot there, but I think he might have left Ross McInnes a little sniff here of a double into the centre pocket.
Come on,
And I think from Ross, I can't imagine what was going through his mind there. He's left the 2 yellows easily potable, and the black ball's in the centre of the table.
And over on the blue table, Mick McGoldrick from Scotland has just potted out right from the break, it appears. And he's given Scotland a 13-9 advantage, so just 1 required to put them through to the final.
Yes, and that's going to add a lot of pressure onto Kelvin Lee. And the moment I say that, he's missed the yellow into the centre pocket, which I feel he would have. And the moment I say that, he's missed the yellow into the centre pocket, which I feel he would have got at any other stage during the match. Hard to see whether Ross can pot one of these reds. Up the situation. Has to watch he doesn't get a time foul here.
30 seconds, green table.
Yes, and as soon as he heard the referee call the 30 seconds, he's down on the shot to make sure of not time fouling. Going for the out-and-out glory shot there, Ross. Unfortunately, just a bit of extra pace kept that ball out of the centre pocket. But if you look closely, the yellow ball has ricocheted over onto the left-hand cushion, which is now going to cause Kelvin Lee a major problem. With Ross McInnes's 2 reds in the centre of the table. Kelvin going for the glory shot down the rail. This will be a monstrous shot if it goes in. What a fantastic shot. Kelvin Lee knowing that if he missed that, the chances are they were out the competition. Every credit must go to him for the steely nerves that he showed there. But he still has a little bit of work to do here. Cue ball on the cushion, can't control it very well. Ball in the jaws, so played it cushion first, I think, but just caught it simultaneously, but it's worked out fine.
Big block that one they desperately needed. They can afford to lose no more frames. 13-10, Scotland over Australia. Table representing Australia, and at the table, Mick Delahunty. He's playing Dave Linton from Scotland.
There's tremendous pressure on every shot now for the Australians. Knowing one mistake, and they're out the competition. Every care must be taken on every shot. A long yellow ball here. Trying to stun the cue ball back, and he's played it so well under the pressure there. And I think he's probably the worst positioned yellow ball on the table. He's managed to get onto. And he's going to be desperately unlucky if he's landed touching ball on the red ball. Might be able to just squeeze the plant into the centre pocket, and he's missed it.
And meanwhile, breaking. He's playing Phil Hulley from Australia.
Red balls to play.
And obviously with Scotland just requiring one more frame to eliminate Australia. Each one of these frames that are currently in progress are of the utmost importance.
There's some young Pat Holtz for Scotland. Looking for the finish. His nickname on the pool table is Silky. I think that's down to his smooth cue action, so let's see if he can keep it that way.
30 seconds, green table.
Pat Holtz still in prime position here.
And over to the blue table. Scotland in with an opportunity here as well. Dave Linton versus Australia's Mick Delahunty.
Go, Australia. Come on, Australia. Come on, mate.
Yes, Mick Delahunty on yellow balls here. Going to try and take this bad yellow away from the pocket covered by the red ball. Hasn't done it too well, but at least it's moved it away. Now just going to try and snooker Dave Linton. Looks as though he has done.
And quickly now back over to the green table. And Silky, as you alluded to, is his nickname from Scotland, now resting silkily in his chair. Whereas Phil Hulley, Australia's hopes laying squarely on his shoulders.
Yeah, some silky smooth tones in your voice there, Jim. And that's going to happen when matches get this close and this tense. Players tend to refuse the glory shot and try and force their way into an easy position.
It looks like things have changed a little bit over on the blue table. Dave Linton in with what looks to be a possible frame and match-winning chance here.
Yes, Jim, if he can just negotiate this red, kiss his half ball onto the red on the cushion. Left it a little bit straight, though. Having played Dave Linton numerous times myself, I know he's quite capable of knocking this in. And he's playing it very, very well. Could this be the moment Australia go crashing out of this year's Embassy World Team Championships?
In goes the black, and down goes Australia's hopes. Long trip back to Australia. Good performances from Scotland, and no one will be happier than they will. A resounding 14-10 victory over last year's finalists, and they have to be so chuffed. And I understand Simon is going to be looking for Scotland's managing player, Jeff Mathieson.
Jeff, that was terrific. You must have aged a bit there.
Well, I can't get any older, put it that way. But it was fantastic. We knew it was always going to be a close game, and our boys done the business in the end.
What did you say to them before the start? Because they came up with all guns blazing.
Well, it's just a case of getting the boys psyched up. And if we can get that, we never had that against other teams during the pool festival. And we really want them psyched up for Australia, because they've already beaten us in the run-up to this. But we can't take it away from the boys. They've done the business.
They sure did. Were you really worried when they started edging back at you?
No, we knew all the strong players coming.
Your youngster Terry, he did pretty well for you.
Oh, I mean, he's unbelievable, the one. You know, see, when there's free cigarettes there, Terry plays brilliant, you know.
There'll be no problem psyching them out against the English.
No danger. I mean, they've seen us play now. That's Scotland at their true form. And England will be running scared. Don't worry about that.
All right, we'll see that. We'll look forward to that. That's tomorrow night on Sky at 9 o'clock, the final, Scotland against England. For now, goodbye.